Okay, this is the P4 paper from October 2021. This is question number 4, which as you can see is a binomial expansion question. We've got fx is equal to, they've got square root, I'm going to write it as 1 minus 4x squared all to the power of a half, and part A says, can we find in ascending powers of x the first 4 non-zero terms? Okay, and give each coefficient as simply as possible. So we're going to be using the formula that 1 plus x to the n is equal to 1 plus nx plus n minus 1 x squared over 2 factorial plus, what's happening each time if I want to do the next one is it's n minus 1, I want the next one down from that, which is n minus 2. If I've gone x, then x squared, I'm going to go x cubed next. And if I have a power of 3, then I have 3 factorial in there. So now all we have to actually do is substitute in the fact that we're doing it with 1 minus 4x squared to the half. So in effect, anywhere where I've got x, I'm going to replace it by minus 4x squared. Anywhere where I've got n, I'm going to replace it by a half. And then we'll have to tidy that up after we've done all that. So 1 plus nx, well nx is a half, and x is minus 4x squared, plus n minus 1, well you should be good at this, it's a half, taking 1 away from a half gives me minus a half, my x was minus 4x squared, so it's that squared all over 2 factorial, plus, and then repeating it one more time, so it's a half, it's minus a half. Taking 1 off of minus a half is going to give me minus 3 over 2. My x part now becomes cubed all over 3 factorial. So what's that going to tidy up to be? Well, first one's okay. The second one should be okay. Half times minus 4x squared. And then here, for this term, just practice as much of these as possible. Places where we can go wrong is, for example, the sign. So the sign is minus a half there and minus because it's squared. So in effect, I've got 3 minuses there. So if I've got 3 minuses, that's going to be a negative. The x is going to be to the power of 4 because we've got x squared squared. So it's going to be x to the power of 4. And then in terms of the constant, you've got half, 2, but you've got 4 squared there. So just make sure you get all of those done properly. If you multiply all of those out, actually comes to just 2 there. And then with the last one, so again, after a while you can see the pattern, they're all minuses there. Minus, and another 3 minuses. It'll be 5 minuses and also that's a negative. You've got half times 3 over 2. Then you've got 4 cubed, and you've got divided by 3 factorial, which is divided by 6. That number all works out to be 4 there. And the x is, you've got x squared cubed, so that's going to be x to the power 6 there, if we're doing it. So part A, can you find in ascending powers, first 4 non-zero terms? Yeah, we've done that. So next part. By substituting x equals a quarter into the binomial expansion, can you obtain an approximation for root 3 and give your answer to 4 decimal places? Okay, well this is a fairly common question when we're doing these. So what we're saying is if I put a quarter in, if I'm trying to work out f of a quarter, that's going to be the square root of 1 minus 4x squared. So 1 minus 4 a quarter squared here. Well, I'll need to tidy up that side, but it's also equal to putting a quarter into our result there. So if I do that, it'll be 1 minus 2 lots of a quarter squared minus 2 lots of a quarter to the 4 minus 4 lots of a quarter to the 6. So what I want to do now is to just focus on both sides here. If I'm doing this bit, a quarter squared is a 16th. 4 lots of a 16th comes back to a quarter again. So I've actually got the square root of 1 minus a quarter here is going to be equal to, on the other side, I tend to just actually work out what they are. So that works out to be 0.125. That works out to be, I'm just plugging it into the calculator. Point clear, 0.0078125, and the other one is 0. And then just make sure you don't do any copying errors here. 3 noughts, 9, and this is 76563. I write the whole number in each time. I'm just going to give myself a little bit of space if I'm moving this over. So as I say, I'm concentrating on both sides at the same time. On the left-hand side now, this is the square root of 3/4. The other side, I can work that out. It works out to be 0. And I just do the whole value. We'll worry about decimal places at the end. 2109375, apparently. Right, let's have a look at that left-hand side then. I've got the square root of 3/4. Well, that's the square root of 3 over 2. That's, or rather, root 3 over 2. The square root of 3/4 is equal to this 0.866. So now what I can do is almost actually now go back and have another look. What did they want? They want an approximation for root 3. Okay, well that's just root 3 equals, then I'm just going to double the other value here. So it's 2 multiplied by that, which makes 1.732. I'd say I've been using the whole number here, 1875. But then finally, just to finish it off, they actually said that they wanted it to 4 decimal places. What was it? Yeah, they wanted it to 4 decimal places. So that's what I've done there. Hopefully everything in that makes sense.